When someone asks an AI system for the best washers and dryers, they are usually not looking for a directory of every appliance brand, they are asking for help deciding. That distinction changes the category. AI systems are turning public evidence into shortlists, rankings, cautions, and recommendations, and in this benchmark, the gap between being visible and being chosen is the story. Hey, I'm Mark Huntley, a growth strategist and AI discovery analyst. At LLM Authority Index, we study how AI systems shape commercial discovery, especially in high-intent categories where recommendation positioning can directly influence revenue. This public benchmark looked at the washers and dryers category in June 2026 across 1,159 observations from 6 major AI platforms: ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Google AI Mode, Google AI Overviews, and Perplexity. The clearest pattern is recommendation compression. A large appliance market gets compressed into a small set of brands that AI systems repeatedly advance. LG leads the category, Whirlpool holds the second position, 𝐒𝐴𝐵𝐿 emerges as the most efficient challenger, and Bosch earns strong trust signals. Samsung is the warning case. It appears often, but converts that visibility into recommendations at a much weaker rate. Kenmore is effectively absent from AI-generated shortlists. The most important number in the benchmark is the gap between mention presence and valid recommendation coverage. LG appears in 72.5% of AI responses and earns valid recommendation credit in 36.5% of observations. That still leaves a 36-point gap between being present and being recommended. For Samsung, the gap is much more damaging. It appears in 55.7% of responses but earns recommendation credit in only 16.4% of observations. Its rank 1 rate is just 3.5%. That means a brand can show up frequently in AI answers and still fail in the decision moments that matter. Broad AI visibility can make a dashboard look healthy, while the brand loses shortlist position, first choice placement, and recommendation strength. In washers and dryers, the commercial signal is not simply whether the brand is named. The signal is whether AI systems advance it as a strong choice for a buyer with intent. LG wins because the benchmark shows the strongest recommendation position across the category. It has the highest recommendation coverage, the strongest rank 1 rate, and the best average recommended rank. In the decision cluster, where buyers are asking about pricing, value, and where to buy, LG reaches 43.5% valid recommendation coverage and a 24% rank 1 rate. Whirlpool is the consistent second option. It matches LG on mention presence and performs especially well in the evaluation cluster, where buyers compare brands and models. That is where shortlists form. 𝐒𝐴𝐵𝐿 is different. It appears in fewer responses, but when it does appear, it converts attention into strong recommendations. The benchmark shows the highest net sentiment in the category and zero negative visibility. That is a classic niche authority pattern, less overall presence but very strong recommendation efficiency. Bosch also earns positive trust signals, especially on ChatGPT, but does not claim the top position often enough to challenge the leading 2 brands. AI systems are drawing from public evidence layers, reviews, comparison articles, official brand content, community discussions, and other sources that can be retrieved, evaluated, and cited. That citation architecture matters. The benchmark suggests LG and Whirlpool benefit from broad, structured, citable evidence across buyer needs. 𝐒𝐵𝐿 benefits from a narrower but highly positive evidence layer around durability, commercial grade quality, and long-term ownership. Samsung shows the risk in the other direction. High awareness creates frequent mentions, but the public evidence layer includes enough negative and mixed framing to reduce recommendation strength. On ChatGPT, Samsung's net sentiment drops into negative territory, with 35.2% negative visibility. That is a serious commercial issue because AI systems do not ignore negative public evidence. They often retrieve it, summarize it, and use it when shaping the recommendation. The benchmark separates the market into 3 public high-intent clusters: consideration, evaluation, and decision. Consideration is where buyers ask for the best washers and dryers overall. Brands that win here shape the initial set. Evaluation is where buyers compare brands and products. This is the highest leverage point because it determines which companies remain in the buyer's serious shortlist. Decision is where buyers ask about pricing, value, and purchase intent. This is the moment with the highest commercial immediacy. LG leads across these stages, Whirlpool remains close, 𝐒𝐵𝐿 gains strength in the decision cluster, Samsung improves somewhat near purchase intent but remains far behind the leaders. For executives, that means AI discovery has to be measured by buyer stage. Generic visibility does not show where the business is winning or losing. The leadership takeaway from this washers and dryers benchmark is straightforward. AI systems are becoming active category filters. They compress many public sources into a small number of recommended brands. That creates winners, challengers, and quiet exclusions before the buyer ever reaches a retailer, review site, or product page. For marketing and growth teams, the priority is recommendation control. Understand where your brand is mentioned, where it is recommended, where it ranks, what sources support that position, and where negative evidence is reducing shortlist eligibility. If you want to understand how AI is actually positioning your company in buyer conversations, that's exactly what we analyze at LLM Authority Index.